Welcome back to High Stakes. Today, we will be discussing the following MLB matches that is happening on Tuesday, August 15, 2023. We will be providing our team, total and prop picks for the day. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. If you want access to our premium picks, you can check out our Patreon page. You can find the link to our Patreon page in the description and comments section below. Philadelphia Phillies vs Toronto Blue Jays. Take the Phillies with a run line. And here is why. The Phillies lost 2 of 3 games to the Minnesota Twins, 62-58 Sioux, first in AL Central, at home over the weekend. The offense has been sputtering recently, and the Phillies have scored only 5 total runs in their last 5 games. They now find themselves 11.5 games behind the surging Atlanta Braves, 75-42 Sioux, in the NL East, but despite their struggles at the plate, they still hold the lead in the NL wild card race. Wheeler has had success on the road in 2023, compiling a 6-3 record with a 3.44 ERA and 1.12 WHIP. He is getting better as the season progresses, producing a 1.83 ERA with a 0.81 WHIP in his last 3 starts, away from his home stadium. They have won more than 50% of their games on the road so far this season, and they have won 3 of their last 4 road games. They have also won 6 of their last 9 games overall. The Blue Jays have been struggling at home recently, losing 3 of their last 4 series there. Their hitters have batted a lean .198, with a .308 slugging percentage over their previous 7 games at Rogers Center. The stats and trends support a Philadelphia victory over the Blue Jays on the road Tuesday. For our total pick, take the under. And here is why. Toronto was down 2-0 to the Chicago Cubs, 61-57 Sioux, second in NL Central, heading into the last game of the series on Sunday, but their offense came alive and scored 11 runs to salvage the final contest. They are currently 8 games back of the Baltimore Orioles, 73-45 Sioux, in the AL East, and 1.5 games up on the Seattle Mariners, 63-54 Sioux, third in AL West, for the last spot in the wild card. The Blue Jays have gone under the run total in 5 of their last 7 games and have scored 3 runs or less in 5 of their last 7. They rank towards the bottom of the league in average runs per game at home, with 4.45. The Phillies have hit a lean .220, with a .341 slugging percentage in their previous 5 road games. They rank in the bottom half of the league in average runs scored per game on the road with 4.43. Wheeler has an ERA under 2 and a WHIP under 1 in his previous 3 starts on the road. The Blue Jays have an elite pitching staff this season, ranking second in the league in team ERA, with 3.74. Kikuchi has a 3.44 ERA at home over 10 starts in 2023. Most signs point to a lower scoring affair with Wheeler and Kikuchi on the mound Tuesday. Pittsburgh Pirates vs New York Mets. Take New York Mets money line. And here is why. Pittsburgh enters this game ranked second to last in the NL Central, and having lost the first game of their current 3-game series against the Mets. In their most recent 7-2 loss, Quinn Priester got the start in the loss for the Pirates, throwing 5 innings and allowing 7 hits that resulted in 6 runs, while striking out and walking 3 apiece. Osvaldo Bido then came in and threw the remaining 3 innings, allowing only 1 additional run. On the offensive end, the Pirates totaled 5 hits and 2 runs in the game. Ke'Bryan Hayes had the only multi-hit game, going 2-5 with an RBI, while the team had no home runs on the night. Overall, it was a tough loss for the Pirates as pitching gave the game away early and the offense had nothing to say. The Pirates give left-hander Bailey Falter the start for Game 2 in hopes of evening up the series and snapping the team's current losing streak. Falter has had a rough season so far, having yet to get a win with a 0-7 record, along with a 5.21 ERA and a 1.55 WHIP in those outings. His most recent start came against the Braves, in which he threw 4 innings and allowed 8 hits that resulted in 4 runs, while striking out 3 and walking 2. I would expect a slightly better performance from Falter in his upcoming start, given he just faced one of the best defenses in baseball. The batting lineup for the Pirates has struggled so far, with the team being 13 games below 500 to this point. Brian Reynolds leads the team in hits, average, and RBIs with 109 hits, 56 RBIs, and a .268.334.464 line in his also team-leading 407 at-bats. Jack Suwinski then leads the team with 21 home runs, while Andrew McCutchen leads in OBP with a .254.375.386 line on the season. Carlos Santana and Ke'Bryan Hayes have also struggles to this point, and the Pirates need to see more consistency from all of their hitters in order to win more games moving forward. Taking the Mets to win this game for a couple for reasons. They are the better team on paper and have begun to play better as of late. The pitching matchup is actually about as even as it gets, but where the Mets have the advantage is on the bullpen at the plate. A big factor in the Mets' past couple of wins has been their bullpen, which has kept them in the game and changed the mentality of the team. If the bullpen can turn in another performance like they did last night, the Mets should win handily once again. Not only do the Pirates lack in pitching, they also struggle to produce runs at the plate, which makes it very difficult to win games consistently. In terms of trends, the Pirates have lost 5 of their past 7 games overall, and when these teams have faced off in the past, the Mets have won 8 of their past 10 matchups. For these reasons, I am confident in taking the Mets to win this game. For our total pick, take over 9 runs. And here is why. Taking the over in this game for a couple of reasons. We see a pretty mediocre pitching matchup that should result in a fair amount of runs for both teams. Falter draws the start for the Pirates and has 5.21 ERA on the season, while Peterson posts a 5.61 ERA himself. Despite being left-handers, these guys are known for giving up runs in bundles, particularly from the long ball. While neither of these teams necessarily excel at hitting home runs, the additional production in that aspect can only benefit the offenses, or for our purposes, the over. The Mets will manufacture runs through quality at-bats and situational hitting, while the occasional long ball makes the difference. The Pirates, on the other hand, likely won't score as much as the Mets, but we are not relying on them as much as this total isn't that high in the first place. In terms of trends, both teams have gone over in a majority of their past 5 games, making me all the more confident in taking the over. New York Yankees vs Atlanta Braves. Take Atlanta with the run line. And here is why. The Yankees are a dead team, walking losers of 2 games in each of their last 5 series for a 6-10 record. In that stretch, the offense was held to 3 runs or less in 9 games, and through 118 games they had plated 511 runs, the 10th fewest in the game. Their .232 team batting average was 2nd worst overall, and their .307 on-base percentage ranked 5th worst. Only one plate has over 100 hits this season, Gleyber Torres, whose 119 hits were 15th most in the AL. He had an 11-game hit streak snapped on Sunday, but was still hitting .391 over 12 games in August, with 7 extra base hits, 8 runs, and 4 stolen bases on 4 attempts. This is not the ideal lineup for a guy like Severino to try and get back on track against. The Braves are killing baseballs and they run so deep, with 6 players in the lineup already with 20 or more home runs. Severino has been a mess and has lasted 4 innings or less in 5 of their last 7 starts. On the other side, Elder is 4-1 at home this season and 3-1 over his last 5 starts at Truist, with all of those wins coming by at least 2 runs. This is a meeting that looked great on paper at the beginning of the season, but now features 2 clubs heading in the exact opposite direction. For our total pick, take under 10.5 runs. And here is why. The Braves are pretty damn good, and they showed that to the other New York team over the weekend, taking 3 of 4 games in Queens while putting up 40 runs. Their offense is the best in the biz this season, with a .274 batting average and a .502 slugging percentage, which was 41 points above the next closest team. Ozzie Albies may have the quietest 28 home runs in baseball, tied for 8th most, along with teammate Austin Riley. Albies had 122 hits in 117 games played, and his 90 RBIs are 2nd in the game, 17 behind teammate Matt Olson. Albies was hitting .345 with 16 RBIs and 12 runs over 13 games in August. I do expect the Braves to get some runs in this game. Severino has been porous of late, and Atlanta's offense has reached a stage where if somehow someone isn't hot, then 3 other guys seem to be. Offensively, the Yanks seem to be scoring a decent amount of runs one game, then falling on their face the next. They've had an incredibly hard time maintaining any momentum on that end, and I don't think they will get much of a chance to get going in this one. New York does not elicit a lot of confidence with a total this big.